Hey y'all, and welcome back to the Lore Mistress Project. Today we're going to talk about Shattered Legacies, and I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on that. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get straight into the video and have a watch.
Sylvanas' soul has been fractured from the moment of her death until now.
Burn it! This was their home. And you slaughtered all of them! How could you take all those innocent lives? This was beyond life and death. There was no other path to true freedom. How can you not see that? I see what you are. Murderer! Monster! Butcher! Why can I not escape this torment?
The jailer has severed their bond and condemned her to endlessly relive her atrocities. So long as her soul remains divided, she cannot wake.
Maybe she shouldn't.
She's the only one who knows the jailer's plan and how we might save Anduin.
She's the one that turned Anduin.
Jaina is right. How can we possibly trust her?
Her wound runs so much deeper than mine. Well met, Ranger General.
What is this? Who are you?
Someone who shared your fate, felled by the blade of the very same prince.
This. I died trying to stop that monster, only to wake up haunted by one with my face.
That Banshee is you.
No. I cannot accept that.
Her path began where yours ended, and you've seen the decisions she made.
Never in 1,000 lifetimes would I betray everything I stood for. You can't possibly understand.
The jailer is deceptively cunning. When I realized I had become his pawn, it nearly destroyed me. He had no doubts it would destroy you as well. Was he right? Or will you accept her shattered legacy and tell us how to stop him?
Her crimes are unforgivable.
Yes.
And she... I must face the consequences.
We cannot change the past, and we may never find forgiveness in the future. But inaction damns us all. Time is short, Ranger General. Make your choice. I've done all I can.
Alright, so there's a whole bunch to unpack here, and I just thought we'd all sit and watch the cinematic first. Obviously, if you were watching me, On my little corner of the screen, you saw that my cat decided he wanted to have a little bit of attention, so that's my guest star, Flerken. Look, first off, I'm Alliance. I play Alliance, I've always played Alliance, and when Teldrassil was burned down, holy shit, I was angry. Just like everybody else would be, you know, my first character was a Night Elf. You know, I spent hours exploring the tree, so big thing, alright? So that being said, obviously Blizzard's going down the redemption path. It's staring us right in the face. The concept that being attacked and killed by Frostmourne and it dividing your soul in half is rather interesting, I think. Especially when you look at it as in, you know, Uther was killed by Frostmourne. He wasn't raised into undeath or anything like that. So his soul pretty much immediately came to the Shadowlands. He became a Kyrian, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We all know how that went. Sylvanas, however, had more atrocities committed against her soul that really, I think, explains, and I hate myself for saying this, but explains a lot more as to how she turned in the way she turned. Let's think about it. So, okay, she was killed by Frostmourne. Arthas killed her. Then he raised her into being a banshee. So, first of all, her soul got that split thing going on. Frostmourne took up some of her soul and everything like that, and then we moved on into she's a banshee. She's completely under his domination. We don't know too much about domination magic at this point. I've only started playing through this part of the PTR. I've been very busy, so I haven't really gotten to explore it. But at this point, we know domination magic is a big thing. So the part of her that was dominated is the part that eventually wrests control from Arthas. And so obviously there's still quite a bit of like the Sylvanas Windrunner chick, you know, very strong-willed and everything like that. But being raised into undeath has to corrupt a person. I mean, it doesn't say that being raised into undeath as a death knight, so to speak, and I'm going to the death knight thing, inevitably corrupts you. I mean, look at Bolvar. I mean, of course you could technically say Bolvar's not undead because the dragon's fire saved him, but that's a whole other thing to unpack. Look at Darian Mulgrain. Look at Sally Whitemane. Look at, you know, all the Four Horsemen. They're not inherently corrupted. When you raise them, like, and especially in the case of Nazgrim, he's like, yep, alright, I'll serve again because that's what I'm used to. Turlbane's like, yep, alright, let's do this. Whitemane's like, yep, let's do this. There's no real corruption. And that could be because you're free of Arthas' influence at that point. So that's a fair point to make. And maybe it was, well, maybe, okay, you know, now that I'm talking about this a little bit, it could be the Frostmourne / jailer influence which causes that corruption into undeath. So if you want to look at it, I mean, you could look at it like Sylvanas was raised as a banshee, so she's become that corrupted sort of self, and she wrested control of herself, and that just increased, you know, her free will. But maybe because there was still some of that domination deep within. I mean, obviously, the jailer had some sort of domination over her moving forward. And it just increased as time went on. I mean, Sylvanas, theoretically, back in Warcraft 3, after she got her body back and everything, yeah, she did kill a human guy to take over Lordaeron, but that's because he was a dickhead. You know, Garithos was not a good man. He was enslaving the Blood Elves and making things really, really hard, so Sylvanas took over, and, you know, she kicked his ass, etc., etc. So, but then as time went on, she became more and more corrupt, more and more dark, more and more evil. I do have to check this, but I do believe that it has been made canon that she knew about the plague at the Wrathgate, and that she was pretending when we went and invaded the Undercity. I need to check that. I'm not 100% sure if that is correct or not. I do also, but if that's the case, and you know she knew about the plague, she was planning on killing all these people. She's obviously been a tool of the jailer for a very long time, and it may be that it wasn't until she committed suicide jumping off the parapets of Ice Crown that the jailer actually was able to better influence her by using the Valkyr and everything to force that sort of connection. I mean, these Valkyra that became hers to help keep her alive very much were, you know, used to keep Sylvanas alive. They came to her. Who's to say that the jailer hasn't been working on the Forsworn for a long, long time? So these were quite possibly Forsworn Kyrian that the jailer had corrupted at some point. I mean, he's had eons to create this whole thing, right? And then suddenly, boom, here comes, you know, Sylvanas. Oh, yep, here's my chance to get my hooks even more into this woman, and destroy her. So I think, yes, she's definitely going down a redemption path. I think that in the end, like it or not, she's going to be Kerrigan 2.0 or Kerrigan Light, however you want to put it. So, you know, I'm curious to see where Blizz is going to be going with this. I do kind of understand where they are going with it. I really do hope that, unfortunately, you know, that part of her, the good part of her soul that the jailer gave back is going to be suffering, but I really hope that Sylvanas pays for her crimes. I think it's super, super important to the storyline. Maybe she has to pay for her crimes in a myriad of different ways. I don't know. Anyway, I want to know what you guys thought of the cinematic. Please put it on down below. And yeah, look, we've got more videos coming. I do apologize. Like I said, I've been very late, and yeah, have bright blessings and have a great day, guys.